on today's show.
Owning a dog can have many benefits for teens. Today we meet Chloe and her talented dog, Mickey.
I grew up with a lot of dogs in my house, so I thought that dog sports would help stimulate them more.
For Chloe, dogs have always been a huge part of her life.
So I have 3 dogs in my house currently. We have Mickey, which you've seen, and we have Charlie and Gus, which are also Papillons.
Sprinting was the first competition Chloe and Mickey participated in, and it was a huge success.
My mom signed me up for my first sprinter event a couple months ago, and the sprinter event is a 100-meter dash where they chase a lure that resembles a squirrel across the field, and they mark their time. His average speed is 33 kilometers an hour, and he's actually the fastest Papillon in Canada.
Much training and time is involved in getting ready for the competitions.
We train Mickey about 4 hours a week. So that includes going to a flyball practice, and then every night, probably 15 minutes we spend with him, teaching him different tricks.
Mickey showed us some of the tricks he knows.
When we're training him, we use a clicker, which kind of indicates that he's doing something right. So it just kind of gradually goes from that. So if he touches it, then that's a click, and then eventually he'll start advancing more to do like things like put a ball in a basket and turn on a light and jump over a jump. On. When we were teaching him how to turn on a light, once he noticed the light, we clicked it, and then he kind of knew that he was doing something right by noticing the light.
Mickey is such a smart dog that even I could train him.
Okay, Alyssa, hold your hand out with the treat and call him over.
Mickey, come on! Good job!
Make sure you give him lots of praise.
Okay, and here you go. Good job. And go! There are many benefits from training a dog.
Well, the benefits with working with Mickey are definitely keeps me more active and keeps me closer to Mickey. So we have a bond, and it makes me more confident, I guess. He's like so smart, and he can learn a trick in probably like an hour. So I just feel really accomplished when I teach him a new trick.
That was so much fun hanging out with Chloe and Mickey. I wish them the best of luck at their upcoming events. For more information about dog sports, look at their Facebook link below. This is Alyssa, signing out for Gen Y.
We're at this super cool place called Bard on the Beach, where teens get to learn and perform Shakespeare. How awesome is that? Let's go check it out.
Young Shakespeareans is a Shakespeare camp that goes on at Bard on the Beach. It started about 25 years ago, and we put on a play, various plays, different plays of Shakespeare's, and it's a great opportunity for young students to get up and experience Shakespeare as an actor.
If you have tears, prepare to shed them now.
Ian Butcher, an experienced actor, helps teens bring Shakespeare from the classroom to the stage.
And break and push forward.
I also teach at the schools, Bard in the classroom. It's a great opportunity to, instead of reading just off the page like you do in school, I usually get the students up and actually start vocalizing and talking about Shakespeare and trying to perform it, which gives them a better understanding of the language and better understanding of the actual plot of the play.
My favorite part of Bard is taking like these texts that you read in English class and you actually like live through them and work them out on stage, and you're not just like sitting in a class just reading them.
All the voyage in their life is bound in shallows and in miseries.
The scenes we did today were some of the class favorites.
We will be revenged!
My favorite scene that I did today is the one where I'm with Antony and Lepidus, and we're
figuring out what we're gonna do and that we're ready to go to battle, and we're not exactly friends in it, but we're allies.
Let our alliances be combined.
In the fight scene, I need to run across the entire battlefield to get to the other side, right? So I first need to blitz past everyone, and Sebastian over there always went before me, which always screwed everything up, but it worked out at the end.
What are some of the challenges of playing Caesar?
Just trying to get a balance between having this pomp and arrogance and yet have some humanity to it.
Some of these actors have been doing Shakespeare for a long time.
I started with my mom reading me Shakespeare at the breakfast table, and then I started doing Bard on the Beach when I was 7.
I've been doing Bard this is my 5th year. I come back every year because it's really fun. So my favorite part about this year was really just getting up on stage. That's my favorite part every year. Getting on stage, belting out some words, having fun, meeting new people. It's kind of awesome.
You love me not.
This class is for teens of all ages and abilities.
Flatterers would not.
You don't need any experience. When I first joined, I had no clue what I was doing, and I've been doing it for years now. And it's a very fun atmosphere to learn to act. And
angry when you will, it shall have scope.
I think that it is really good, and the location helps it because you just need, in my opinion, to have a quiet place when you're acting to avoid all these distractions. So yeah, I will probably come back next year.
Me a bang for that, I fear. Proceed directly.
Being involved in Shakespeare also has a personal meaning for some of the students.
My grandmother got me into it. I've been doing it ever since I was 9, and yeah, I have always just enjoyed it, but especially because this look on my grandmother's face every time she saw me on stage it's always been priceless.
Julius Caesar is definitely an exciting play with lots of drama you can get into.
Bard on the Beach is an amazing experience that you get to make new friends and you get to become characters that were created hundreds of years ago but are still so alive today, and it's so much fun.
Meeting new people every year and being able to get on stage and perform something with them.
I definitely want to, in the future, be a theater actor, also like film, but I definitely feel that this camp really helps me pursue that goal.
To be part of this workshop is a great opportunity just to express themselves, to be able to know that they can handle the language of Shakespeare, and not only Shakespeare, but to get to express themselves on stage freely, and that it's not scary to do Shakespeare, but that it's a lot of fun.
This program is so awesome. If you think you might want to join the Young Shakespeareans next year, you can go to bardonthebeach.org. This is Isabel signing out for Gen Y.
Hail Caesar!
After the break, Gen Y will be right back.
We are kids. Wish kids.
10,000 kids.
We are brave.
We are strong.
We are fighters.
Some days are good, some days are bad.
Some of us make it.
Some of us don't.
My wish will make me strong.
The Children's Wish Foundation of Canada.
Does a wish make a difference?
You bet. You bet.
Imagine the difference a wish can make.
Only 2 more needles till my wish.
Please give today.
Welcome back to Gen Y.
Grief is a natural reaction to loss. And today, we're at the Langley Hospice Society to learn about the programs that help you through the grieving process.
The youth programs at the Langley Hospice Society are for teens 13 to 18. Any teen who has had a loss of a significant person in their life. So it could be a parent, a sibling, a friend, a coach, a grandparent. We believe that these programs are important because grief and loss isn't something that is talked a lot about in our society. It's something that a lot of teens unfortunately do experience, and it's really hard to go through, especially if you don't have any support.
So what exactly is grief?
Grief is a normal and natural response to loss. Grief affects our thinking, our learning, our feelings, even our physical body. And grief is internal, so if somebody's grieving, you wouldn't know unless they had shared that with you.
We know from many folks that have used the grief support programs and services that it's helped ease some of the confusion and frustration and that happens after the loss of someone. And I think more than anything for lots of folks, it makes them realize that the feelings and emotions they're experiencing are normal.
The hospice is a safe place for teens to express their emotions.
We have one-to-one support where children, teens, adults, and families can meet with our bereavement support coordinators one-on-one, or we also have loss support groups. So those are groups usually not more than about 10 or 12 people, and they're usually age-specific.
I think a lot of teens don't really have anybody to talk to when it comes to grief and loss, just because grief isn't something that's openly discussed in our culture. A lot of teens don't really feel comfortable talking about their feelings surrounding loss with their friends or even their family. Some teens have a really hard time focusing on school, so for them that might be a stress that's happening. Sometimes teens are struggling with their friendships and other relationships that they have. And so having an adult to talk to about all of that sometimes helps them to just work things out.
As a teen, there are cool and unique places to relax and talk with your support worker. The Narnia Room is a quiet space for journaling or alone time. It is also a comfortable space and is good for letting off some steam.
For a lot of teens, coming to Langley Hospice or meeting with a youth worker is important to them because they might not be able to talk at home about how they're feeling. A lot of kids and teens are worried about upsetting somebody or making somebody cry, and so just coming here and talking to somebody who's not emotionally involved in their family is really helpful for them.
The only cure for grief is to grieve. And grief looks very different for every individual. Children and teens grieve very differently than adults, but I think it's the feelings and the emotions and the experiences that you go through after you've experienced a loss.
Besides grief support, Langley Hospice Society offers various activities for teens.
We've had a camp at Timberline Ranch, we've had a camp at Camp Kakwa, and we were really looking forward to our upcoming camp at Camp Sasamat. We've been really lucky to do a lot of fun stuff as well. Things like archery, riflery, horseback riding. A lot of it is just peer support, having somebody to talk to who's your own age, going through similar issues. Within those camps as well, we also have times where kids can just remember their person. We have a memorial ceremony where kids can remember the person that they've lost.
The Society is a great place to volunteer.
We don't exist without volunteers. I think the volunteers last year gave us over 35,000 hours. So that's about 240 plus volunteers volunteering in different ways throughout the Hospice Society, including the thrift store, in the Langley Hospice residence, in our adult bereavement programs, and in our child and teen bereavement programs as well. It could be camp or day camp, Christmas programs. There's in a number of different ways.
We want to thank the Langley Hospice Society for being such a valuable resource. For more information, check out their website. This is Alyssa, signing out for Gen Y.
Hey guys, it's Isabel, and today I'm at the Vancouver International Bird Festival. I'm about to go talk to some teens to see why birdwatching is #1 on their list.
Young Birders program is where young birders from across BC get together and we go on trips together where we get to see lots of different birds and enjoy being with each other.
We get to go on field trips with other like-minded youth and really get to meet people who are similar to us and really love birds and make some friends that way.
There's not a lot of young birders, but we kind of try to find each other. It's a lot more fun to bird when there's other people there.
Melissa was a huge factor in bringing these teens together.
Well, the Young Birders program came about when I saw different birders, young kids at different areas in the community. So I'd see them birding at like Rifle or Stanley Park, and they'd be birding alone. And so I figured, let me connect with these kids and see if I could get them together as a group, because there were so many different young birders all around Vancouver.
When you're in this group, everyone's like, even I joined recently, and I just went on this was like my third hike, and you already established a sense of community and friendship really early and quickly, and these people are so easy to make friends with.
Birdwatching is more than just watching birds.
I think something that's often overlooked about birdwatching is a feeling that I often get, which is adventure. Often finding a bird requires a lot of adventure, whether it's a long hike, a crazy boat ride, going outside in ridiculous weather, or going on long trips. Adventure is actually a really big aspect for me of birdwatching.
When you're starting off your day, you don't really know what to expect. You can go out looking for a bird, you may see it, you may not see it. But then after that, when you actually go out and maybe you end up seeing it, it's something that's really exciting because you don't really know what's going to happen.
We take them out to areas that are outside of their normal birding area, trying to get them to see different habitats and different birds that they don't normally see. Like we'll take them to Merritt, and they'll see like Lewis's woodpeckers that they wouldn't see in Vancouver because they don't occur here. And we go to the island, and we do pelagics and take them on boat trips to see seabirds and albatrosses.
Going out on a boat and looking for seabirds, I love boats. Boats are super exciting for me. I live on a float house, so I'm around the water all the time, and like when I'm out on a boat, it's where I feel home. I'm kind of like, I love being on the water.
What's your favorite type of bird?
Probably right now it's the ruddy kingfisher, which is this bright red kingfisher with this gigantic red bill, and it looks like a carrot. And they live in Japan, and since we visit Japan to see our family, we finally got to see this bird that I always wanted to see.
My favorite bird is the Atlantic puffin, and it's my favorite because I have a lot of family in England, and so when I go to visit, we often go out to the islands called the Farne Islands in the northeast, and they have a huge colony of 40,000 puffins nesting.
My favorite bird is the snowy owl. It's a completely white owl, sometimes does little black patches, and I've only ever seen one. Sometimes they come to Vancouver, usually it's like once every 4 years. There are quite a few that come down.
The resplendent quetzal, and it's this incredible iridescent green with like a red belly and really long tail.
The passion these teens show is inspiring.
It's really fun. It's always really exciting. You never have to do anything. It's something you can basically do anywhere you are.
I really love being out in nature and seeing birds, and I think that if people haven't had that experience before, maybe to try it, because they might be surprised by how much they enjoy it.
When young people end up going outside, they'll often develop an appreciation for nature, which will help conserve the environment, which is extremely important now.
I would say that as a young person, one of the most important things we can do is to use social media to share photos and experiences from nature and of nature in order to create awareness about how incredible and worth protecting the natural world is.
Today I learned that bird watching is super cool. Also a great way to get outdoors and meet a bunch of new friends. I'm Isabel, signing out for Gen Y.
After the break, Gen Y will be right back.
Perfect, thank you. How you doing, young lady? Come on in. You want to have a seat? And no, that's actually perfect.
Hi, Kids Help Phone. Hi. Can I talk to someone? Sure. You can talk with me. Okay. It's okay. Take your time. I want to kill myself. Okay. I'm really glad you called. Are you in a position to hurt yourself right now? Yes. Okay. Why don't you talk to me about how you're feeling, and I'll just listen. Okay.
Dear Children's Wish Foundation of Canada, Thank you for sending me Rory the lion. That means I'm going to get my wish, and that makes me really, really happy. Yesterday he was sad, but I told him it's okay, Rory. There will only 2 more needles until my wish. I will send you pictures from the top of the Rocky Mountains. Love, Emily.
Imagine the difference a wish can make. Click on childrenswish.ca and give today.
Welcome back to Gen Y.
My body is a river moving swiftly through earth.
My body is not mine.
My body is earth, fresh, wet, and full of possibility.
My body is unseen, unseen from myself, unseen from the world. It dances and moves in the shadows.
Every ripple is unique, running deeper than the eye can see.
Some people are born into a body that they're comfortable with, while others aren't.
Rippling softly, swish swooshing around and over stones.
Covered in beauty from the unseen hurt, running deeper into the vastness of what the eye can see.
Bodies are what people see, but there's so much more to me.
I stare into the mirror every day when I see no light within my eyes.
My body is my story, dancing, it's mine. My body is my story, flowing, it's mine.
My body is my story and is for me. It goes unseen, but not unheard.
The darkness inside takes over, and I can no longer see me.
Some days I feel beautiful, but most days not. Is this me? Or do I just need to love myself?
I fall, I sink, I touch the shadows. I open, I rise, I touch the light.
I am an element of life. I will take you on journeys one can only experience through the river.
I carry life within me. Like a river, I am important, an element of life. I will cleanse you if you let me, and I will share it to make a difference in the world.
I love my body.
I love my body.
I love my body.
I love my body.
Mulatto, noun, a person of mixed white and black heritage, Spanish origin, derived from the term for mule, crossbreed, genetic oil spill, courier of a colonial legacy, the bearer of bad genes, hybrid teetering on the tightrope top of the casta, a heritage that is uncharted territory, historical orphan, foremothers and fathers only footnotes found in the shade of poplars and shadowy plantation bedrooms stinking of perfume and shame. Child of Atlas with the new world's burden borne upon their shoulders. Rocked to sleep in the cat's cradle tangle of two distinct bloodlines. Someone whose ethnicity is misinterpreted to be the black sheep of the diaspora or the lapdog of white supremacy. One whose howl is nothing but human. There is nothing exotic about this existence. The skin is not to be consumed. There is nothing tragic about this lineage. The skin is not to be mourned. There is nothing bestial about this biracial. The skin is not to be tamed. The skin cannot be classified. No slur can define me.
Gen Y is brought to you by Options Community Services.